All right, welcome back to week 2. And week 1, hopefully you started to take a couple action items we discussed, talking about making the cell healthy. In week 2, we're going to talk about weight loss, because weight loss is such a big component of type 2 diabetes. Not everyone that has type 2 diabetes needs to necessarily lose weight, but we really want to discuss this conversation and this concept of weight loss. So mindset number 1, Dad, is as the body gets healthier, everything improves, not just type 2 diabetes. So what does that look like for everybody?
Well, I think as people get more fit and their energy is greater and all the stuff that goes, the body's getting healthy inside, and it always heals from the inside out. And I think when you think about weight loss, they go hand in hand.
Sure.
And so when you see the obesity levels in the United States and the type 2 diabetes levels, they're growing at the same level. So there's definitely some links between.
Some connection.
Lots of connection here.
And so if you're losing weight or getting fitter, those cells get more sensitive.
Yeah,
your energy gets better.
The body's talking back, and the body's working in that direction. And one of the first books I wrote way back in the day was called Meal Patterning, and I was fascinated by the sumo wrestlers trying to gain weight. So everybody's looking at how to lose weight. I was fascinated by how do they actually gain their weight? And they did it very simplistic. They would eat basically one large meal a day and overproduce insulin, because insulin is a storing hormone, and they knew that. And by the age of 30, most sumo wrestlers would have type 2 diabetes. So it directly was correlated to.
So you wrote a book on how to gain weight?
How to gain weight. It's called Meal Patterning.
So sumo wrestlers are a great example of when you get out of balance, you're trying to get the body to store more energy, which the weight increases, and that's what a sumo wrestler is trying to do. So a couple of the keys for learning and knowing in week 2 are talking about this balance between insulin and glucagon. What is insulin and what is glucagon?
Well, I think when you look at blood glucose level, the goal is to have a stable blood glucose level throughout the day, and our energy is going to be ideal when that occurs. But when we have a big spike and a drop down, that's when we get in trouble, and that's what I learned very quickly from the sumo wrestlers. They would eat 4,000 or 5,000 calories in one sitting.
Wow.
They would overproduce this thing called insulin. Insulin would be elevated for 3 or 4 hours, and then it's a storing hormone, so it stores nutrients. And we've all done this over Thanksgiving. We eat this large meal, blood sugar level goes through the roof, we take our nap, and then we get up and we want to eat more of that processed things that make the blood glucose level go back up. So that's the problem when you think about insulin and glucagon. They're opposing hormones. And when they work together, you're going to have a stable blood glucose level. If I'm overeating, I have too much insulin and not enough glucagon, and glucagon is the hormone that helps you lose weight.
So many people that are familiar with their glucose and type 2 diabetes understand insulin, but they may have never heard of glucagon. The key is we want to make sure that these things are balancing each other out, which makes a more steady, balanced glucose, better energy, healthier for the cells. And we need glucagon if we want to lose weight. And so week 2, we're talking about weight loss. Maybe you don't feel like you need to lose weight, but the key is we want to get healthier. If we get healthier, we're going to lose weight, we're going to improve the type 2 diabetes, increase energy, maybe your skin looks better, and we're trying to do the opposite of what the sumo wrestlers do.
Yeah, and the goal is we want to have a stable blood glucose level, and if you have a stable blood glucose level, your insulin and your glucagon will be used going back and forth, balancing that out. And that's ideal, and that's when people feel their best. Because if you have an overproduction of insulin, you're going to be hungry. Sure. And that's where people can't control it. And they're like, I'm hungry all the time. Of course, you have an unbalanced blood glucose level, correct.
So there's 3 action items we want you to take in week 2 on top of the action items we talked in week 1. What are the 3 action items we want them to take?
So again, remember, we went back, we talked about the water, the omega-3 fats, and daily movement. We're building on that. But the big action item we want to talk about today is the timing of when you eat.
Frequency.
Frequency of eating. So ideally, you want to do a 12 to 14 hour overnight fast. So if you've eaten at 7:30 p.m., you don't eat again until 7:30, 8:30, or 9:30
What's that
a.m.
do?
It allows the body to clean itself back to the cell. It allows the body to start cleaning itself, and then keeps that metabolism where you want to have it. And then as the day begins, you're trying to eat every 3 to 4 hours to keep that blood sugar level in line, but not overeating. And I think that's what I've learned when I've worked with many, many people who have type 2 diabetes, that when they eat more frequently, their blood glucose level is more stable, they feel better, they have better energy, but we're not overeating. And I think that's what we want to avoid, that overeating, that 1 or 2 large meals a day that are really going to spike that insulin levels
And
up.
why do you promote an overnight fast over maybe some intermittent fasting or a longer fast or during the day?
Well, the key thing we're going to move forward as the weeks go on, we're going to talk about, when you think of nutrition, is number one is, what are you missing? What are you lacking? And so the goal we're trying to build in this program is that we're going to build a lifestyle that you can repeat, but also remember, we eat for a lot of reasons, but many of them are from a nutrient standpoint. So when people are doing the intermittent fasting, I find that many people are skipping meals and they're missing nutrients, and that's what we do. We want to get back to that cell, and that cell needs to have those nutrients to heal itself.
All right, and the last one is, we want you to take a simple step. Have an apple, put lemon or limes in your water, have some piece of raw fruit, get some of these nutrients that we know are neglected and missing. And those are the 3 action items we want you to take. 4 to 5 small meals throughout the day. We call it the 3 to 4 hour rule. Trying to eat more balanced, smaller meals as you go. And then that overnight fast. And those are the 3 action items. We want you to understand weight loss and type 2 diabetes are very correlated. But the key mindset is, as you get healthier, everything gets better. So keep building, take these action items, and we'll see you again in week 3.